mischief, fortune, magic. Could these forces be at play in our seemingly mundane world? If so, who is controlling these forces? Could they be leprechauns? Millions believe in the existence of this mythical creature of Irish folklore. What if they were right? Phoenix, Arizona, home to a man by the name of Nihant Bob Pinaka. Could observing this man's daily activities provide evidence of the existence of leprechauns? All it takes is a single glance to realize that otherworldly events are taking place. Before investigating Bob as potential evidence that we coexist with leprechauns, we must first understand what it is that leprechauns are.
Leprechauns really are fascinating creatures. In Irish folklore, they are described as green-wearing imps, the unwanted orphaned offspring of degenerate fairies and evil spirits. They are mischievous beings, users of a clever type of fortune-based magic. There are legends saying they are solely found in Ireland, dwelling in gold-filled caves. But in recent decades, it has become possible that they have found homes in other places as well.
Can this man really be Ireland's most notorious legendary creature? His behaviors certainly do seem to mirror those of the mythical leprechaun. Being the children of depraved fairies, it is no surprise that leprechauns would be outcast by the fairy community, making them, for the most part, solitary beings. It is also expected that leprechauns would inherit behavioral genes from their devilish parents and display signs of mischief.
Well, there are times Nihan separates himself from his classmates. While his other friends are chatting, having a good time, he'll refrain from even interacting with them, and he'll sit there working on his homework. Sometimes he actually displays hyperactivity, which he will play tricks on his peers. He'll even pinch them. Of course, it's understood kids joke around a lot, but none as cleverly or mischievously as Bob.
Could Bob's voluntary isolation and rascality be credited to just being a hormonal teenage boy? Or is it possible that his personality could be attributed to a more green background?
Ancient Irish folklore has made a point of depicting leprechauns as green-clad beings, opulent in riches and gold. This description stuck with today's pop culture, even having a whole day dedicated to them every March 17th. Would not be so crazy to think that this image has stuck, because it's one we see every day, knowingly or unknowingly. Leprechauns certainly do work for their riches. In fact, they are often portrayed as hard-working individuals associated with the profession of shoemaking. According to the legends, leprechauns are often said to hold a shoe in one hand and a hammer in the other. Long story short, they earn what they work for.
I wouldn't classify Bob as a hardworking student. His work does pay off. He's one of my highest scoring students here.
Does Neonth work hard and earn well because he wants to? Or is it possible that a higher leprechaun force gives him no other choice? The Great Irish Potato Famine, a time of disease, sickness, and starvation. No one could have predicted such a tragedy. No one except Thomas Malthus. This British economist was famed for his beliefs that overpopulation was inevitable and would be offset with spells of famine and disease. But did he really predict the potato famine, or might he have actually caused it with his ancient leprechaun sorcery? If so, Is it possible that Nihon Pinaka shares eerily similar characteristics with Malthus? And can this be evidence of his leprechaun origins?
Thomas Malthus, who often went as Bob, was a revolutionary economist of his time. Just 21 years after he published his last essay on famine, Ireland's most severe famine plagued the nation. This tragedy was much too drastic to be a coincidence. That's why I theorize that it was leprechauns, especially Malthus, who used magic to start the famine as a cruel joke of sorts.
Aside from sharing the same nickname, Pinaka and Malthus share strikingly similar facial features that simply cannot be denied. Could Nihant be descended from the possible leprechaun Thomas Malthus? Could Nihant be a leprechaun at all? Most sane people would answer with a resounding no. Pinaka's behavior, history, and appearance suggest otherwise. Perhaps Nihant Pinaka truly is the embodiment of the luck of the Irish.